welcome to Homicide, Hindsight. For my first episode, I want to talk about the case of YingYing Zhang, beautiful 26-year-old Chinese student, came to the University of Illinois to study. She wanted to be a professor. Her parents were very, very proud of her. She was just coming into some independence. You know, she had just landed a new apartment with more space, and she's excited to start her life. She's working in the lab one day, and she decides to take lunch and to also go make a deposit on this new apartment that she was excited to move into when her life was cut short because she made a series of decisions. And I want to talk about those decisions and see if maybe there were some alternatives that could have kept this from happening or at least helped the situation. So to begin, she was working in the lab, and unfortunately she didn't have a car, so she needed to take buses everywhere she went. So when she left the lab that she was working in the lab with her friend, she had to take a bus home, and then from there she had to take a bus to this new apartment where she was going to drop off her deposit, and she's so excited. Well, she made the first bus. The police discovered this via video surveillance, but she missed the second bus, and that's what set this horrific series of events into motion. Let's take a look.
Cut to the inside camera. We can see YingYing showing her pass to the bus driver and even smiling at him before walking towards her seat. YingYing smiling at the bus driver is particularly interesting for two reasons. One, she didn't appear to be in any sort of duress. In talking with her friends, they all commented on how wonderful and how frequent her smile was.
Switch to the one shooting down the bus.
Stop, wait.
Finally, they found YingYing.
Found out of town.
Investigators now turn their attention to the bus that YingYing would need to catch.
Seeing her on that next bus runs northbound out of town.
Investigators now turn their attention to the bus that YingYing would need to catch to continue her journey.
Play the one right before it gets to her stop.
At 1:43, the bus pulls up and stops.
Wait.
You can see in the background a small figure approaching the bus.
Wait, stop there. Punch in.
Particularly interesting for two reasons.
That's her.
She didn't appear to be in any sort of
YingYing starts to run, but before she can get there, the bus starts to move.
And as the bus continues, those external cameras show her trying to wave the bus down.
It's no use. The bus drives away, leaving YingYing behind.
She missed the bus.
Investigators now turn their attention to the bus that YingYing would need to catch.
Next bus runs northbound out of town.
Investigators now turn their attention to the bus that YingYing would need to catch to continue her journey.
Play the one right before it gets to her stop.
At 1:43, the bus pulls up and stops.
Wait.
You can see in the background a small figure approaching the bus.
Wait, stop there. Punch in.
That's her.
YingYing starts to run, but before she can get there, the bus starts to move.
And as the bus continues, those external cameras show her trying to wave the bus down.
It's no use. The bus drives away, leaving YingYing behind.
She missed the bus.
She missed the bus. If she hadn't missed that bus, none of this would have ever happened. It makes me so sad seeing her run down the sidewalk like that, not knowing that that was the event that was going to set the rest of the tragic events of that day in motion. She missed that bus. So she made her way back around the university area, and surveillance cameras were able to pick her up again. Standing, I couldn't make out if it's a bus stop or where she was actually standing, but she was standing there looking like she was waiting for a bus when this stalker demon came rolling up in his black Subaru and changed her life forever. Let's take a look.
The vehicle actually pulls up alongside YingYing.
They switch angle for a closer look.
When I saw that video, I was just like, oh my God, now we have something.
You then see her get into that car, and it drives away.
This is now the last known sighting of YingYing Zhang.
When I saw her get in that car, I believe she was in severe danger. When I saw that video, I was just like, oh my God, now we have something.
You then see her get into that car, and it drives away.
This is now the last known sighting of YingYing Zhang.
When I saw her get in that car, I believe she was in severe danger.
Yeah. So let's talk about getting into that car. Now, he must have done some fast talking to make her trust her. I believe that because she was on the campus, he may have sold it to her like, oh, I go here too. I'm a student here. Yeah, I used to ride the bus all the time. I can give you a ride. I'm going in that direction. I just have to stop off at my house or something to pick up something. I can give you a ride, no problem. But whatever he said, it made her trust him without any question. Now, we know that she had her phone because she was texting while she was on the bus. Surveillance video showed this. So my thought is, a lot of times us women, we don't want to insult people, especially people who are trying to help us out. We don't want to rock the boat. We think that appearing trusting and loving and open is a sign of being a good person. Like we're showing a good face to the world, being trusting. The fact of it is, this isn't a completely trusting world. And we can't be afraid to look not so confident. look not so sure, and maybe not hurt someone's feelings. But we also can be smart about it as well. Now, my suggestion at that point is, if you're alone somewhere and you don't have a vehicle of yourself and someone rolls up, and that it's a very tempting thing to accept a ride from someone, especially someone who appears trusting, and maybe she was attracted to him. I don't know. And just pull out your phone and say, hey, you know what? You are such a nice guy for giving me a ride. Let me take a picture of you. Yeah, I'm going to post this to Instagram right now, let people know what a cool guy just gave me a ride, right? So maybe this guy would think twice about doing any harm to you if you just posted his picture on Instagram. Or maybe when you're in the car, just casually call your friend and let her know, hey, I'm getting a ride to my apartment. I missed the bus. I'm going to be late coming back to the lab. Do you mind staying on the phone with me for a bit until I get to my destination? Now, he may be a little bit offended. He may be like, oh, you're going to stay on the phone with your friend? And you can be like, yeah, I hope that's okay. I mean, you are a stranger. I know you're really nice. You seem really nice, and I really appreciate the ride, but, I'm just being safe. There's nothing wrong with that. But do we think of those things? For the most part, no. But this is why I'm doing this show. So if someone is seeing this, that at least the thought crosses their mind. They have a phone. Maybe this guy has such ill intention that it doesn't matter if you're on your phone or not. He just wants to do some harm, and he don't care because he's out of his mind. But I think for the most part, crimes like this are committed because of opportunity. And I think if you can just shake that person's confidence a little bit, it could make the difference. Now, I could be wrong. You're welcome to give me your opinion in the comments. But this is just an idea that crossed my mind that maybe could have helped her out. And even if she, really didn't want to call somebody, maybe she could fake the phone call. Or maybe even be as bold as to, before she gets in the car, is take a picture of the license plate, and he'll be like, what are you doing? And you'll be like, oh, I'm just trying to be safe. But, I doubt if that will ever happen. I would be that bold. Now I would be that bold. 10 years ago, I wouldn't be that bold. Boldness kind of has to grow into you, I think. With age comes a certain amount of freeness from caring what people think, because you know how cruel the world could be. I mean, you don't have to rule your whole life that way. Just, be aware of things that could help yourself. I think that may have helped YingYing. Unfortunately, this guy, he did her no harm in the car. If you look at the car actually has clear windows. He couldn't have assaulted her while on the road because you could see right through the car. Someone may have noticed that. So somehow he convinces her to go back to his place. And that's where the assault takes place. Maybe he said he had to pick up something from his apartment. Maybe stopping there was enticing to her because she had to go to the bathroom. Now, with that being said, let me tell you about my own personal story. I went on a blind date with somebody who was in one of those vans that converts into like a home. And we met at a park. Okay, so it was kind of weird. But I asked him to leave the door open, and I sat right next to the door thinking that would help keep me safe. You know, he seemed like a nice enough guy. I didn't really think anything was going to happen, but, you know, just to be safe. And then I had to go to the bathroom. So do I want to go to a park public restroom? No, I'm going to use the restroom right in this van conversion. It's right there, right? Nice. I'm sure it's clean. So I go to use the bathroom, and my life passes in front of me. I swear. I start thinking, well, probably because I watch a lot of true crime. I start thinking, oh my God, this guy could barricade this door right now, or maybe this door is rigged to where I can't get out of it, and he could lock me in this bathroom right now. Nobody knows where I am. This is a van. He could drive across the United States for a whole 3 days, and no one would know where I was. I was completely at the mercy that this guy was not a psycho once I put myself into that situation. In the back of that van, in a restroom, because I didn't want to go to the restroom in a park. Luckily, the guy was not a psycho. He's a very nice guy who just happened to have a van conversion. But it could have went very wrong. And we don't really see these things except through hindsight. And the reason why I'm doing this show is so that we can bring these things more to foresight. I mean, we don't have to live in that space of fear. We just need to live in that space of what can I control to keep myself the safest possible. You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing this. So let's take a little further look into just the depth of this person's depravity, okay? They eventually track down the car. They eventually track down this demon, okay? And he's married. He's living a open lifestyle, and he's got a girlfriend. Oh, his wife was out of town when this abduction took place. So they wire the girlfriend, and they, want to find out exactly what he did with YingYing. Maybe she's still alive. They don't know, but let's look at that. So YingYing's parents, who are absolutely desperate to find their daughter and still holding on to hope, they organize a walk around the campus in hopes that they could help find their daughter. And investigators knew from the side chick, the girlfriend, that Christensen was actually planning to attend the walk and wanted her to go with them. So investigators seize the opportunity to wire the girlfriend, and you can actually see them walking in footage from a local news story. So later that evening, after the march, the investigators, they want to meet with the girlfriend, and they need to get a hold of the recording. So the girlfriend meets them at the police station. She is beside herself. She is crying and everything, and they listen to this tape.
As they press play, nothing can prepare them for what they are about to hear.
She was Seduced. I choked her for 10 minutes.
We listened.
This demon is talking about how YingYing was valiant, how she fought so hard, and how he took off her clothes and assaulted her.
Her clothes off, how he assaults her.
She didn't believe it, that she was alive. So I carried her. It's not that. The guy hit her on the head as hard as he could. And it broke her head open. But she was, like she was why I took her head off. That was the end of it. None of this zombie she was done.
We were listening to his confession of the kidnapping and murder of YingYing.
When the lab results came back regarding the blood on the bat and the carpet and the DNA matched YingYing's, I was mixed with emotions. Part of me was, we got the right guy, but there was a sense of lost hope.
Unfortunately, the family's worst fear had been realized. The beautiful and promising YingYing Zhang is dead. Investigators believe that having missed her bus, accepted a ride from a stranger who proceeded to abduct and brutally murder her. They were devastated.
请让我们带莹莹回家。
Throughout, YingYing's family was appealing to his humanity, trying to get him to tell them the location of their daughter. And then when he finally let it out that he had dismembered her and discarded her body into garbage cans, I mean, he's a monster.
A monster. Yeah, monsters do exist. Unfortunately, our only safety from these monsters is to be aware and to not allow ourselves to be in those situations without being completely aware of our surroundings. Somehow he got the best of her. And I think it started with gaining her trust. She came into his home and somehow he was able to overpower her. Maybe he hit her in the back of the head first and it was all downhill after that. I mean, if you don't have your wits about you or if you've been drugged or something, there's not much you can do. You have to be smart before you even get into that situation. And I am not blaming YingYing for this monster's actions at all. I just want to use what happened to her to help somebody else, to bring the possibilities of foresight to the situation so that you're not on an episode of Homicide, Hindsight.